Ladies and gentlemen,
Episode 17.
Number 17.
Today we have a very special guest with us. Introduce yourself.
My name's Anthony Green.
Anthony Green, all right.
Anthony. So, we're joined by Anthony Green. Anthony, as he'd like to be called.
Anthony.
Anthony?
That's my Aunt Barb would call me, Anthony.
That's what she said?
That's what she knew me as.
That's cool.
We'll take that and run with
Shout out to my Aunt Barb.
Aunt Barb.
Shout out Aunt Barb.
She doesn't know what's going on right now.
Really?
She's in Chamonix Manor right now, just like
just chilling.
Talking to herself.
Yeah?
I love her. My Aunt Barb was the best though back in the day.
Yeah? Were you close with her?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's cool. Alright, so how have you been, Anthony? Hey man, how have you been?
I've never had a bad day in my life.
Really?
Jack.
I like that. So what's it been like during COVID to be a musician? I really want to. That's what I think. Like my biggest question right now is.
Okay, well that's cool. That makes me stoked to talk about. It's weird because when this all happened, we were like getting ready to leave for a tour, and the band. We'll practice for 2 weeks or so before the tour leaves. We'll practice together for 2 weeks with our guitar player who lives on the West Coast. And then before that, for like 6 weeks before that, we'll rehearse and do our own shit before he gets out there to like a track or just without him. And he came out and we were hanging, and it was like, then shit started to go down, and we were like days from the tour.
When did your tour start?
It started like in mid-March.
Damn.
Yeah, it was close.
At the end of March. And we were like gearing up to leave, and we had to be like, shit. And Pearl Jam had just announced that they weren't doing like a show or a tour, and everybody was like, fuck you, why would you do, like, you're just like building up for the hype. And our one guitar player was like, dude, this shit's serious. And I remember being like, dude, I don't know, man, I feel like the media is just building this shit up. Like, I heard Dr. Drew, bro.
Dr. Drew.
And then the next day, after like digging into it a little bit, and like it was hard to dig through what was actually happening because there's so much misinformation. But for the things that I trusted, like I definitely did my best to trust like the World Health Organization and CDC, and I was like listening to that. And when I would try to stay close to those sources, it was like, okay, we're gonna have to cancel this shit, and it became apparent to me. And then a week after we canceled our tour, everybody was canceled, and
damn,
it fucked me up.
Yeah, that would have sucked to have been on tour and then had everything shut. You would have been.
I also was like, I had relapsed, a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And so I was like just getting clean and getting my shit together again, and like I was gonna go on this tour was gonna happen with a dude that was gonna come out as like to make sure the band didn't have to worry about me like losing my shit in Detroit. Which is like something we joke about, but like I don't think it's like. I would hate. I'm not like sitting around white knuckling it all the time, but it was like I think for them to feel comfortable, and it was accountability.
Yeah.
So, and he was a good friend of mine, so it was cool.
Were you guys going to be touring like all around the country?
Yeah, it was going to be all full country, and it was like a big tour too. That we were all like, all right, well, we have to do this tour because it's like going to make like a lot of money, and after that we can do like weird shit that we want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that the biggest thing you're like missing out on right now touring?
It's not even that. Like I would play shows, like I would do a weekend here and there, just doing acoustic stuff. Like while I'd be writing, I would go out and play like 2 nights in a place in Ohio, that was small, and we'll just work stuff out, live in front of people, and like it felt really cool to do that because like little magical shit happens in those environments that you can't really just happen in the studio when you're by yourself. Yeah. And I miss that, even just like preparing for live shows, like you have to like kind of be in shape. You have to like, your voice has to be like on point. It's just taking that out of my life, like my whole fucking Jenga fucking castle crumbled down. Like, insane. And I'm like embarrassed about how hard it hit me when the tour got canceled, and having that go away and being like, how am I going to financially take care of my family?
Yeah, it's hard because that's like, touring is probably the big, like, that's your biggest,
Like
that's how you survive.
That's all I did. Like, there were times throughout the last, like, 20 years where other band members or other band people would be like, hey, I'm going to try this or that as another means of, like, income. And I would start other bands, or I'd have other projects, but I just did music, and everything was in that.
Yeah.
So the band you were gonna go on tour with, was that like your band, like Anthony Green?
No, it was Circa Survive. And we were doing a 10-year anniversary tour of a record called Blue Sky Noise, which is arguably like our biggest record that we came out 10 years ago.
So that was with Circa.
Yeah.
And you were, who else was coming along? You got any other bands on there?
Yeah, Polyphia was going to be on it, who was like an instrumental, like jazz metal band.
That's cool. And
this band called Gouge Away, who were like very heavy. I think they're from Florida, but my brain doesn't.
Yeah.
They're fucking sick though, Gouge Away.
That's sick. So do you guys have any plans on doing it eventually?
I mean, we do have it rescheduled for 2022, but it's like, at this point, when we're very transparent about it, it's a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's, like, we're rescheduled. You don't have to get, this way, like, the way it breaks down is that if we cancel it, they're going to have to pay a fee. Anybody who bought tickets is going to have to pay a fee for cancel, anyway.
Yeah.
And then if we do it again, they're going to have to pay another fee. So it's like, if you want to hold on to your ticket, you won't have to pay a fee next time. If it ends up happening.
Yeah. It's just so uncertain. Like,
it sucks.
And honestly, like when stuff is like, I wanted to see Guns N' Roses in July, and at the beginning, and like when everything locked down, I was honestly still hopeful I could go.
Yeah.
But like, we're still in this. Like, there's still no concerts going
Well,
on.
who's the, you could play the what coulda, the who coulda, shoulda, woulda game, with it. And like, you see other places that are a little bit smaller or whatever, like you see that like in Wuhan, they're like, they have punk shows and shit.
They're partying.
And they're moshing and shit. I'm like, oh, they're back, So at this point, I don't even think about, like, I hear artists and people all the time, all across the board, I shouldn't say all, but people are just like, when things get back to when things go back to how they were, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? I'm not planning for that. Like, I'm Mad Max zone right now. Like, shit is different forever now. Like, I'm not planning on when touring. So I'm gonna do this till touring comes back. Like, to me, it's over.
Yeah.
And I'm down to like play because I know other people aren't going through that. I'm not gonna force anybody to sit through a funeral for something that isn't necessarily dead yet. But for my mental health, I have to be like, goodbye.
Just plan
Assume the worst, hope for the best.
I'm gonna just write music, and I need to figure out a way to. Oh, you fucking son of a shit!
You good?
I think it's in my pocket. Ambler.
You can take it.
I don't want to.
You don't want to? You gotta let it ring.
What am I waiting on right now?
Do you let it ring or do you like hit decline? Like, what's?
I'll let it ring because I'm not trying to let anybody know they just got silenced.
I know. I feel bad sometimes.
Will they leave a message? Just text me. What are you calling me for? Who are you? Oh,
People
when are you
so
gonna
old
fall
school.
in your nog? What the hell? Dude, I just got. Okay, shit. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have looked at my phone.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Who is this person? Why did they call me?
I hate when
I hope they leave a message.
I hate when like someone should text you. It's like something that can be texted, but they just decide to call you. Like,
dude,
I
tell you what, being an adult, you have to do so many phone calls. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
You have to talk to teachers. You have to talk to people putting cable in. You have to talk to people at banks all the time.
Dude,
people at banks or people that it's absolutely grueling, dude.
I hate being on hold. Because I feel like
dude.
Like you're on hold, like you could definitely go do something else, but I feel like
you
gotta
meditate,
be there,
bro.
Yeah.
Meditate.
Yeah. You big into meditation?
No, I've never meditated in my life.
Really? What about mindfulness? You do any like breathing exercises or
I
anything?
do the opposite of it.
No? You just panic.
I panic constantly. I'm in like a constant state of alert.
But that's
on edge.
That's how you get shit done.
Razor's
sometimes.
edge, baby. The opposite of mindfulness. Yeah, no mind. I pay no mind.
No mind.
So I guess back to the touring.
Mindless.
Mindless.
Mindful, mindless.
Yeah.
Hey,
What
you can tell I'm a word guy.
Half full.
This son of a shit didn't even leave a fucking message.
I hate that. Do you know it's
Ambler? Oh, who do I know from Ambler?
There are a lot of people in Amblin.
Oh, I don't know, man. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, so I was just wondering what inspired you to start making music, or like what bands, like I guess something along the lines of that.
When I was a kid, my brother really liked. I had 3 older brothers, and my one brother like loved punk and metal.
Mm-hmm.
So he like introduced me to everything from like Metallica and like Megadeth, Nirvana, and like Minor Threat, Bad Brains, and Fugazi and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I had a brother who really loved like New Order and like, oh, you son of a shit. New Order and like, Violent Femmes and REM and like shit like that. And then, like my parents were into like the Beatles and Patsy Cline, James Taylor and like, Jackson Brown.
Yeah.
Fucking shit like that.
Yeah.
So I had like this like thing of everything, and music, I don't know how it happened, but just in the way that it's naturally just soothing, like the old like Soothe the Wild Beast,
Yeah.
Like as a kid, it just always soothed me. It brought me comfort. I remember sitting in my mom's car listening to Patsy Cline, listening to like Carly Simon and being like, and kind of disappearing into it. Like it was like my first real, like it was like my second maybe form of escapism besides just eating food.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I just loved it.
So did you listen to a lot, like, were you listening to one genre of music?
No, I was like picking little things at a time. So like I'd listen to like Metallica, or like I'd listen to like fucking like Megadeth or Black Sabbath or fucking Nirvana or Beastie Boys or Run DMC or some shit that like my brother, Aerosmith, like shit my brother one brother would listen to. And I remember listening to like REM and like like more like new wavy shit. Like Duran Duran and like fucking shit in the 80s. I was born in 82, so I was around all that shit.
Funny story, when I was living in Georgia, I shadowed at a private school.
Yeah.
The kid I shadowed was Dan Barry's son.
Okay.
The drummer from REM. Yeah, I know. And I like barely knew anything about them then, so it kind of sucks looking back at it, but like still it's really dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just like artistry is cool, and like even just people who make podcasts, like people like doing anything, like you came in here and you're like, oh, this isn't that pro, but like what it is just like everything's a work in progress.
Yeah.
So you guys are figuring out like your setup, you're figuring out your workflow, you're figuring it all out.
Yeah.
People that don't have patience with that, like they probably never had to like really make anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you can always work on stuff. Like, even if you think it's the best, you could still probably put more work and effort into it.
You're in a bad place if you think that you're like at the top of the hill.
Yeah. There's always somebody above you.
Yeah, well, it's not even that, but just like you start, there's no end game to any of it. Like the shit, your passion or whatever it is, like what I don't know, maybe there is, maybe for athletes there's like this point, where like there's a ceiling where it's like, yep, and then I retire when I'm like 28 and I killed it, and like, but I don't know, for me there is no end game, and you just have to be in this constant state of like reimagining and becoming and showing up.
And like so many guys who like are even established, like you said you like Metallica, like even like James Hetfield is like I need to get better and better and better and better, and like it's like, dude, you have 10 albums, like you're one of the biggest,
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how popular, how many albums he has, or what is going on in his life. That dude still has problems, just like I think that's something people kind of forget about too. That like that becomes a job. It can be. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. I love it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So when did you like find the genre that really spoke to you? Like when was that? Like,
I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid and I was around punk, I liked it. It was accessible to me in a way where like I think at some point like it was like all I heard was like Boyz II Men and like Michael Jackson and like Vanilla Ice, and like there's just like pop craziness all at the surface of everything that was coming at me. And so when I heard shit like fucking Jesus Lizard or like the Melvins or Helmet or like Nirvana or something like that, it was like, oh fuck, like it spoke to me in a more raw like as a young dude, you know, who, I had like probably aggression issues or whatever.
Yeah.
And, I was a sensitive kid. So I heard that shit and I was like, oh, this is like speaking to me in a way that like nothing has ever done before,
Yeah.
So I started screaming in a band before I could sing. I would just like, I could scream and I would scream shit. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I loved about like hardcore and punk was like, felt like, oh shit, like this is almost something I could do if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I think the good thing also is like you may go through some hardships, but it's like for example, your aggression led you to create music.
Yeah.
And like it may suck in the moment, but it could lead to great
That's the
things.
thing. I mean, if you do something, when you have that shit, when that shit is making you feel outside yourself, like you have this choice, right? You could do something productive with it. It's like fire,
Mm-hmm.
The fire can burn everything to the ground like nothing in its wake, or it can create all this light and heat and warmth and like nurture everything around it. And it's kind of just how you decide to treat it,
Yeah.
So if you're gonna make something really positive out of that aggression, that feeling, that hopelessness or whatever, that's sick. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's better than holding it in. It's it processes it in a healthy way. I think
Yeah.
a lot of thing we were talking about earlier, like a lot of people in general, just especially like, I think people in general just need to recognize that that's a exercise. Like you need to fucking get that out. Like when you're feeling upset, like you can't just bottle that up.
Yeah,
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
get it out.
Because that'll only build up and cause more problems.
You just go
Feel-
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
people
You end up like blacking out on the bus when you're like 60 years old and then killing somebody.
Yeah.
Nail clipper.
And like that's like I mean like with the podcast too, like I kind of started it because I love just talking to like people and hearing about their struggles and successes and all that, and like it really makes you feel like you're not alone,
Yeah.
And like the fact that like I'm hearing you talking about like your anxiety, because like I mean me and Jack both have
Yeah.
anxiety, but it's like you do too, and like I mean obviously it's still an ongoing battle, but like you're doing better now.
Well, here's the thing: is like, it's so hard to talk about that shit,
Yeah.
But why? Why is it so hard to talk about? Why is it so hard for like even just like dudes just be like, yeah, I have anxiety. Yeah, I fucking have like crippling depression sometimes, or like I worry about how I appear.
Yeah.
Like, why is that so difficult? Like there's a crazy stigma. Are we weak because like we want to like because we have those feelings? Like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think that like it's important to address that shit, and we have to be able to be like people need to come together and talk.
Yeah,
about
help
that
each other
stuff.
out.
That's why you're doing podcasts, man.
Yeah.
Is because you want to just talk to people, you want to learn, and you're dealing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I have fun talking to people in general, so why not not
Make
capitalize
something out of
it,
it.
but make something out of it.
You're literally doing it. You're like, okay, I have anxiety. This is gonna help break it, but this is also gonna help me learn about myself and other people. Like it is the idea of capital doesn't have to be restricted to like money.
Exactly.
You are capitalizing on it, but there's
Gain.
like an emotional gain.
Yeah.
There's like an experience that here's my buddy Joe. Did he sit down? That's my homie.
No, it's still walking.
See a neighbor?
He's the mayor of Nostradamus Park,
Yeah?
which is right outside there.
Dude, he has the nicest, sickest
Philadelphia
Eagles jacket
Seahorses.
Yeah, he's from South Philly.
on. Yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. You talk to him a lot?
A little bit.
That's
We
cool.
get to know him. We're getting to know each other.
Yeah? You getting to know everybody here?
Getting to know everybody here.
You say you were from Philly?
No, I grew up in the burbs.
Uh-huh.
I started going to Philly as soon as I could drive.
Yeah,
Get in
yeah.
a car with people that could drive, just because it was like the closest thing, anything culture to be near.
Yeah.
Trying to get to New York, but like I would tell people when I was like touring, when I was like your guys' age, and I'd be in California, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Philly." I'm from the fucking suburbs, dude.
I know. People always do that too.
I feel like most people do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's compared to distance-wise, we're not terribly far from Philly.
Yeah.
Just say you're from like a small town
Outside
outside,
Philly.
it.
Yeah.
So you grew up Richboro, right?
Holland.
Holland. That's where my dad lives. That's cool. You how long did you live there for?
17 years. 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you born, raised
Yeah.
right there. How was that?
It's whatever. I mean, you're in a fucking you're strangled.
Yeah.
You're strangled by your strip malls and by nothingness. You
Yeah.
know, like you're dying to get out. You know, it's why you get into music. That's why you start smoking weed or huffing. We were huffing paint. We were mixing shit around and people's. We were doing everything, dude. We were fucking huffing shit for fucking years before we even started doing real drugs. We were making our own drugs.
That's crazy. That's what I feel like.
It was great, dude. It was crazy because you thought it was before like you had any real knowledge of anything, and there was also no internet. So I was like, all right, we mixed a bunch of shit, and Tommy's fucking grandma's fucking shit, and put it on a rag, stuck it in a barrel, and just until you fucking were like, oh fuck, and you found the combo,
So were you ever write like a little recipe book or something? No.
I think we might have. It's hard to remember, honestly. Huffing shit burns a hole in your brain. It's hard to remember anything. It's hard to remember lots of stuff for me right now.
Yeah.
It sucks. When I think too much about it, it makes me sad.
I know.
A lot of my life I can't remember.
Yeah.
A lot of things I have pictures and snap. They're like, oh, dude, do you remember like this show or like, do you remember this thing you did? Like, or do you remember when we went here? And I'm like, kind of not.
Vaguely.
I have like a snapshot.
That sucks, dude. That's one of my. I want to have my memory when I get old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was years I lost some shit to like Xanax for a few years.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But that it kind of makes you live in the moment. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make you appreciate the mindlessness.
Yeah.
I really try to do
the mindlessness.
I try to really practice mindlessness.
I think you should write a book on mindlessness.
Mindlessness?
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it probably is already a thing.
Have you ever thought about writing a book?
Yeah. I write poetry.
Yeah.
I like haikus and poetry.
Have you published any of it?
No. I mean, when I was in high school, I got poetry on the fucking LaSalle poetry thing.
Really?
It's all Bukowski rip-off stuff.
Oh, so you went to LaSalle?
I went to LaSalle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How long? Wait, so did you ever go to public school?
So when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, I had an uncle who was who was wealthy, and he and his partner weren't gonna have children of their own, and so he was just turned to my pops and was like, hey, you want to send him to any school he wants to go to? I'm not gonna have kids with my partner. We're probably we'll take care of his education forever.
Oh wow.
And I was horribly ADD, kind of bad, and my parents visited this private school far away, and it blew them away. Actually, what fucking sold them on this private school, and this is crazy actually to even realize this right now. When they went there, they always told me this story about how the principal was showing them around and called this little girl up out of class to sing for my parents.
Yeah.
Because she had this beautiful voice, and she was and her name was Liz King. I remember her. She was really nice. Very nice person.
So you were there visiting with them?
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was at school, and they were like, we can send him here because my uncle, who was very wealthy, was like, yeah, I'll hook this up.
Yeah.
And I had and I didn't go there because I was smart. I went there I got hooked up because I was they were you know what I mean? It was this guy's got some severe ADD, very dyslexic. We're gonna put get him in a good program, help him. Yeah. And I think my uncle just had so much money, and they're like, all right, cool, we'll get this kid in here. And I went to school there from 3rd grade to 8th grade. It's called Anchorley Assumpta Academy.
Oh yeah, I have some.
And then I went to LaSalle, and honestly, my uncle pretty much got me into LaSalle too.
Yeah.
He was on the board of directors of LaSalle College and got me waitlisted on the college. My grades were so bad. He couldn't have just got me in.
Yeah.
I got into the college and I got into Cabrini because it was the 2nd year they were accepting dudes to the school. There was a primarily girls school. For field hockey and soccer and shit.
So, do you think that going to a private or a Catholic school helps with ADD and ADHD? Or did it hurt? Do you think it helped you at all, or?
There were elements of my education that were really rounded out and shaped by just individuals involved in those institutions that were just exceptional individuals.
Yeah.
But without saying anything about Catholicism or Catholic schooling or in general, I think LaSalle's Jesuit, but I don't even know what the fucking difference is.
Yeah.
I think that in general, education in this country is undervalued and underfunded, and like just disproportionate all across the board. It needs to be prioritized, like as much as like military.
Yeah.
I mean, teachers. I mean, people wouldn't be going anywhere without teachers. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Just imagine if we spent half of the money we do on military just strangling the world with like oppression.
Yeah.
Like making all the people here have the opportunity to just get fucking smart as shit. We'd all be on hoverboards right now. There'd be no racism.
Dude, I don't know why they don't
honestly,
want
like
that.
a lot of the answer to a lot of the shit that's happening right now in the world when it comes to a lot of the disparity is education.
Yeah. Because they're so there's these small
there's
schools.
There's a disparity between it. People in certain areas just can't get the same education that people. It's like it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And we're living in a society that is like just been nurtured on this disproportionate, like classist, elitist bullshit that like, now we're gonna have to live in this dystopia because certain people aren't given any opportunity and certain people are given all the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like in the inner city, like those schools there could use so much more, money just to. Yeah.
It's crazy being a 19, 20-year-old kid and leaving suburban Philadelphia, traveling around the country, playing music and really seeing shit.
Yeah.
Like hearing about shit, but really seeing shit.
Yeah.
And just like realizing what a bubble I was in.
It's a real wake-up call.
So you started touring, when did you start playing? Like
it's like 20.
Yeah.
I moved to California when I was 19 or 20. Just to join a band, and like was like left everything to join a band. And
what band was that?
Saosin.
Okay.
And I had some bands that I was in before it. I was in a band called Audience of One in high school, and then I was in a band called Zoloft the Rock and Roll Destroyer, which was like a pop rock band that I got booted out of when I was in college because I was a fucking just a jugging nest.
Yeah.
Like he's getting too into fucking doing drugs, and I was like, so instead of being like, hey man, we need to get help, they were like, fuck you. Give me my new girlfriend, I'm gonna have the band. And no, they were really cool people, and really the guy who started the Zoloft the Rock and Roll Destroyer band, Vince Ratty, like was pretty much the reason why I started singing, because cool. I had a punk band. He was like, dude, your voice is cool. First person that ever really made me feel like I did anything good, and I've been running with that ever since.
So are you still in touch with anybody?
Yeah, I see. Not really. I mean, the Saosin dudes,
or just in general, like
Vince and I have seen each other, and he lives in Texas now, and we've seen each other in the last few years. But I should hit him up.
What about from Audience One?
Yeah, I mean, Tommy has a podcast.
Yeah, I was listening to some of that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of it.
That was cool. He has a cool podcast, and the drummer and I haven't talked in a few years, but he's like one of my favorite humans. He's a veterinarian. Cool. First person I ever knew that was like straight edge, never fucked with a drug.
Yeah, that's
so wow. And just like was so he also was just wild. Like he was wild. Like he was the funnest
just
person
naturally.
I ever knew. He didn't like. You never needed to get drunk with this dude. Like this dude just did fun shit.
Yeah.
We made shit. We went to places. Fucking did fun shit. Like, oh my god, I love this dude.
Yeah, it's really a testament to someone's character when like they could have that much fun like without any supplement.
It sucks because the world is difficult, and there's a lot of different ways people use to deal with their pain, their anxiety, or whatever. Unfortunately, there's not enough dialogue around what people use as far as like intoxicants and as far as why they use them and how they use them. But I always admired the idea that somebody was like, hey, I'm not gonna fucking introduce a new substance into my body. Like I'm just gonna be cool like on this level. And I definitely admired that as a kid, listening to like Minor Threat and like SOA and like loving Henry Rollins. But then at some point I smoked weed and was like, but I like this a lot more.
And then
and then just smoked weed forever.
That's cool. That's cool. So you started off with Audience One.
Yeah.
Then you went to Zoloft the Rock and Roll Destroyer, and then Saosin, and then where after that?
Then I was doing this project called Sound of Animals Fighting that was like kind of existed in between Saosin and Circa Survive. And then I bailed on Saosin because it was just, we had a weird situation. I was too young, and it was like getting too big, and I couldn't figure it. And I wanted to be in a band with my friend Colin, who I like just wanted to make music with. I felt like we are more on the same page. So I moved home. We got a record deal with like a little indie label that was run by these Krishna dudes that are really big in the punk and hardcore scene, and they were very cool, spiritual, like minded people who also knew how to run a cool business that was like the spirit and the commerce of the business, I felt like was all intertwined in a way where I felt very comfortable starting out.
What's your favorite band you've been in?
Oh man,
that's probably a tough one.
Tough question. Fuck, that's like a Barbara Walters question.
It's like,
right there. That's like a fucking that's a Larry King question.
Is that like
rest in peace, Larry King?
Yeah, rest in peace, Larry King.
Rest in peace, baby.
Is that like picking your favorite kid? Picking your favorite?
No, it's easy to pick my favorite kid. No,
it's like
I can never, dude. I can never. That doesn't even exist.
That'd be hard.
No, the same thing. It doesn't exist. Like there's just some bands don't have the same. Like Circa Survive has been like my main band for so long. It's like my main squeeze, and it also is like become the thing. Because of that, it's become the thing that like pays the most of my bills.
Yeah.
So there's times where because of that, like more money, more problems.
Yeah.
Like it just makes you more stress. It makes things more stressful. And so there's there's like projects that are just more fun, where it's like you don't need to sell any of this to fucking just make it. It's like, and so things like that are mostly more fun. But then in a different way, when you work really hard on something that is like your shit, that your main squeeze, it like is more gratifying to see something you to accomplish something in that way, because it's more of a group, it's more of a compromise, it's harder work, and it's like everything's vetted a little bit tighter, and so you get like something that's like a little bit different quality, maybe not better, maybe not worse, but just different quality, and I like that.
That's sick.
I like the pressure of it. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but I like it.
Yeah. So how did Circa come about?
Just me and my homie, Colin, who wanted to start a band for years, but I wanted to start. Okay, that's not true. I wanted to be in a band with him. He was kind of busy being like the guy that everybody wanted to be in a band with, and then at one point in time, his band broke up. And like I kind of was thinking about leaving my band, or I wanted to do a side project with him. His band was breaking up. I was on tour, and I'd be getting drunk and calling him at 3 a.m. because I was listening to his band, This Day Forward's album, and I'd be like, dude, we should start a band. And he's like, dude, I know. And that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I came home to get my wisdom teeth. I got literally scheduled to get my wisdom teeth out just to fly home.
That's sick.
And then got probably too much Percocet and was like, I quit. And didn't go back, and was then like a month later was like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? But it was the best thing I ever did. The hugest risk. I could have ever. We were literally talking to like Island Def Jam, like Winner, like the band was going to sign a record deal like the same time as like Fall Out Boy was, and like
crazy.
Fucking all these bands, and I was like, fuck it. If I'm meant to be a musician, like it's gonna happen on more my terms.
Yeah.
Has Circa played in what's like the biggest show you've played? Would you say?
We played in Jakarta once.
Oh wow.
For like 20,000 people or something like that. Maybe more than that.
Yeah, that's
crazy
big.
amount.
You played Warped Tour, right?
We did. Oh, the Warped Tour in AC was huge.
And then did you Coachella?
Played Coachella.
That's
twice.
Twice.
I played solo once.
Yeah, how was that?
So sick.
Coachella, that's gotta have some good stories.
First time was ever like 2007, so
that's back
before
when
anybody
it was
even
like,
knew about it. And it was like the sickest. And it was like me and Meredith were hanging out with like Amy Winehouse and fucking Rod Stewart's daughter and fucking Orlando Bloom and Evan Dando.
That's sick.
Smoking weed.
Yeah.
Not caring the world. No children.
Yeah. And then when was the second time you played Coachella?
I did it solo one year where I played main stage. I think they fucked it up, and I played main stage Coachella one year, right before Willie Nelson. Right before Willie Nelson.
That's hilarious.
And it was.
But you think
bizarre.
they screwed it up?
They had to have.
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably my buddy Eric. Actually, I don't know. My friend Eric that worked for AEG or Golden Voice or whoever it was that did that.
Yeah.
Might have hooked it up. I don't know, but I fucking
That's
was like. I remember like seeing other artists that I loved there.
Yeah.
And meeting them or not meeting them, but just like seeing them back in the thing, because that's where like I was hanging, and like I had a conversation with an artist where I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna say who it is because I'm such a huge fan, I don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my god, I fucking love you so much. I was freaking out.
Did you fanboy there?
I didn't. I was so cool. I played it so cool, dude. I was the king of keeping my cool that day, and I was like, you should come check my set out. Like I'm playing at like 2:15 or something. And I was playing 2:15 on the main stage. It was like early, but whatever.
And main stage.
And he was like, "Oh, what stage are you playing at?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" It was like the coolest moment. There was another weird thing where me and my buddy who was tour managing like somebody else at the time was there and hit me up and brought me back at the main stage. There was like a tent where there was like a secret backstage. It was Jack White's private backstage.
Oh, wow.
And he and my friend who was like working for Benjamin Booker or something brought me back there, and we were hanging out, and Kanye West was playing or something, or Kanye West was back there, and so there was all this weird security, and we were hanging out, and like my friend, I don't fit in any, so we're back there in this shit, and we're like making fun of like, we're like talking shit on Jude Law. We were like playing a game and trying to get who gets closer to Jude Law. We were like touching Jude Law basically. And he had his like weird hat on, his like fucking Adora like famous guy hat, whatever. We were just like we were playing a game. We were just being, we didn't fit in there. My buddy Jeff and I, we were playing this game, trying to get close to Jude Law, and we were walking around. And we were exiting this backstage area, just like all high from like having a funnest night. Beyonce, we had to wait.
We had to wait
because Kanye's coming out of this backstage area, and we're waiting, and Kanye leaves, and then they start like his security starts letting people go. And I'm like, there's other people around me I'm trying not even look at because like I'm just like feeling weird, you know. I'm like, oh my god, fucking, you know. And then I look and Beyonce's right next to me, like right there, and her security's all around me, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm in a powwow, like fucking in a huddle powwow with
Did you say
Beyonce's security. No, fuck no. But some asshole who's hanging out by the side of the stage when we're all trying to walk through goes, "Oh my god!" Like it's oh my god,
Jeez.
Anthony Green. And she looks at me. And like at one point, I was watching Father John Misty at one point, and my friend who was tour managing Father John Misty brought Beyonce up on stage. So I'd seen her earlier in the night. But so like that happened, and she's literally right here. Like I'm right here, she's right there, and this person is right there and just bugging out at me. And you could tell that she was like, "What the fuck?" And
what were you doing?
I was glowing, dude. I was glowing like fucking. We're glowing fucking Twilight when the sun hit him. Like I was just like, no, like living the best moment of my whole life for that second. That was
Beyonce's there. You got some.
Yeah, and then she got on like a fucking golf cart and took off. And I like probably was talking to that asshole or whatever, and making the best. And then my buddy like was like, "Dude, this is the fucking greatest story I've ever. I can't even wait." And he like he just told people forever.
That's great.
Like,
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you? So when did you start? You're talking about your solo career. When did you like start and kind of branch off and kind of start making your own by yourself?
So after Circa's second record, I think it was called All Let It Go, the producer like hate. All the solo songs in my first solo record were pretty much on the demo list for the new that record, the On Letting Go.
Yeah.
And the producer, every one of them, there was like 6 songs where he was like, "These aren't even songs."
Yeah. And
that fucked me up. And at some point, I think somebody in Circa was like, "You should just do a solo record."
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I like telling me that like the songs aren't bad, but like they're not Circa songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I get it. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. You know, and I looked at it as a fun thing where I was like, instead of feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough to fucking hang with these dudes, I'm just gonna be like, let's make something that's like more shoeboxy, you know, more something I can manage, you know, because I can't play guitar like this. So I would do like I went back, I kind of reverted where I would like, I had a friend that had some studio equipment and we would record, and we went down to the beach in Avalon in the winter, and we brought a desk down, and my friend actually wigged out the second day we were down there on like Oxycontin or something. This is before I got super into it and left. And his engineer friend just stayed, and he and I just tracked stuff. And I'd like play the guitar rhythm to the click loosely, and then I would like make up the next guitar part on the spot, and then I would play a little keyboard part, and we just like built it like so fun, you know. And the guy who mixed it, Dan Corneff, he mixes crazy shit, like metal shit and like pop shit. He's done like Paramore shit and like.
That's sick.
He really made it sound huge, like and big. But even now, like when I listen to it, it like kind of sounds like I did it in the kitchen of a fucking house. And
but that's sick though. That's like, I mean,
you made a solo record.
Yeah. And so it was like I started doing it like that, and I looked at it as a way of like, oh, this is only going to help my creativity because I'm just going to stay creatively active. It's like practice.
Yeah, because that way you could put out like the stuff that you like to make and the stuff that you like.
And if they don't like it, I just have another spot to put it out. It doesn't have to like get stuffed anywhere, you know. Since then, I've been like addicted to starting bands and just making shit.
That's sick.
I feel bad though. I feel like I just told this story about like hanging out with, like I tried to make myself sound cool.
No,
I hate that.
Like you're just cool. Like
I'm not. And then like I'm not like I hate that I like just sounded like I usually. I hope I didn't come off like that.
You came off like a total loser.
No, I would rather because like that read more reality. You know what I mean? Like bass type shit. Like I don't think I'm cool because that ever happened. Like to me, I think it's just funny.
No, it's hilarious.
No, it's a cool
like,
story.
I generally get nervous about doing shit like this because I kind of hate when people talk too much about themselves. You know what I mean?
I know you mean.
But I definitely love why it's happening now is because people are getting fucking shut away. So everybody's like, oh, we're gonna start a new way of communicating. This is a new way of communicating.
Yeah.
Man. It's like a meme in a way. You know what I mean? Like these are new ways of sharing conversations, documenting ideas, documenting progress.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So, how many solo albums do you have out?
Pixie Queen, 5.
Yeah,
I think.
Are you working on any?
Yeah, I got a new one in the works right now.
That's cool.
That I'm doing, and then I have I have a solo record that's almost done. I have another project that's all covers. That's all done like pretty, like old timey instruments.
That's sick.
And then I have another project that's hyper pop. I got a project that's like strange, that's like very trippy. It's all vocals and percussion. It's like drum and bass, but all the bass is with people's mouths.
I heard some of that. That's pretty. It's good. It's sick.
Circa has a new record coming out this year.
So you found a lot of work to do during this.
So after I was depressed for months and couldn't get out the fuck out of bed, I started to like just slowly. You ever see Batman, when Bane like breaks his back and fucking sends him into the pit? Well, I started the old man started to feed me like grains that he found on the ground, and I started to like get that's what I did. I just slowly started to build my shit back to where I remembered it.
What made you, like, was there something that made you like get out of bed and like go and do go back to work almost? Like, is there a spark?
Yes, it's just a modern survival instinct.
Yeah.
Like you want to live.
You just woke up one day and you
gotta dude, honestly, when I started, I got real low point one day and I was writing and I was like thinking about, suicide's a funny thing. People don't talk about it. It gets a taboo or whatever. But I started thinking about shit and my own mortality and like I have severe depression.
Yeah.
So I get into a point sometimes I'm almost hallucinating. I get so dark, and it turns in on me where I'm literally hallucinating. Like I feel like I shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and it's a weird thing. It doesn't happen. It's a state of mind, very difficult to get. Sometimes you just have to weather it, and I'll get into that place, and it's like super fucked up. And I remember being in that place and realizing one day, like, oh yeah, just music.
Yeah.
And like I was thinking I'm only gonna hurt my kids. I'm only gonna hurt everybody I love. I don't even want to be here. And then I was like, music.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's enough to be around.
Yeah.
Like it's enough to work on the discomfort that I was feeling in the moment. And I was like, yeah, it was enough to make me realize that I needed to sit and shift my perspective from being like self-obsessed to realizing that there was more than just me. And my self-obsession about whatever pain I thought I was in. And so to me, music is like a relic or like a almost spiritual imagery, the idea of vibration or frequency as this thing that is constantly reminding me of connectivity and humility. It's then humility.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
What's it like working at home on music and like what?
It's cool.
Yeah.
I work everywhere. I'm always working. I work all the time. I'm at the skate park watching the boys It sucks too because sometimes it's hard. It's like sometimes I'll be out with James, you know, or I'll be out like, you know, I'll be talking to Meredith and she'll be talking to me about something or trying to work something out, and she'll be like, "What the fuck are you singing right now?" And I'm like, "Wait, was I? Like, what do you do?" Like, you know,
caught up
or she'll come in and like, "What are you doing on your phone?" I'm just like writing like lyrics or like writing like poetry or whatever. And we'll be we'll be out, you know, I just, you know, so I have to balance it better. But I'm always working.
Mine's always spinning.
You could I could be on a desert island with nothing, dude. No instrument. I could just be singing songs in my head.
That's sick.
Boom. You can't take that away from anybody.
Do you ever find yourself stuck? Or like are you usually able to like keep yourself going?
I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're usually able to just...
because I don't... being stuck isn't what it seems, and isn't like what you mean, like writer's block, or like it is. There's necessary times where you need to go and re-up on your source material.
Yeah.
You know, there's times where Hemingway didn't write, and he just went out and fished or hunted or went on a safari or did weird shit, traveled, you know, but then came back and would sit and be, just, you know, whatever. And I don't look at momentary lapses from writing as like a block. I think when I was a kid and I had something I wanted to prove, it was hard. And I would become, because I'd be like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what message, you know, whatever. And I kind of approach writing in less of a judgmental place right now, where like I have like a container where I can go and just shit stuff out and edit shit and work shit out, and I don't look at it as like something that needs to always define me, you know. Like I'm sort of behind. I sort of get to sow my own fucking thread, you know.
That's cool. That's sick. So like, if you ever like find yourself starting to get, you go for a walk, like what you go to? Like
today, I did something this morning. I recorded a little bit, and then I was writing. And before I was writing, I was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a walk. And then I had the song on my phone, put my earpiece in, and just walked around the block, watched people, looked at fucking butts and feet and faces, and then just examined the world. And you know, sometimes I do this thing where I'm walking and I'm looking out, did you ever see that video of those kids that like just see color for the first time?
Yeah.
And or a kid that hears and they cry.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So that hit me the other day in a weird way, and I started like, oh man, I need to have new eyes sometimes. I'll go for a walk where I'll take a couple deep breaths, get totally mindless for a minute, and I'll take some mindless deep breaths. And I'll get disconnected and connected at the same time, and then I'll walk out, and everything is new. Every color, everything, I'll forget. Like I'll die for a second to everything that I know. Yeah. And then, oh man, inspiration's everywhere.
That's deep.
Everything's beautiful. Everything is, you know, it can be deep. It's hippy shit, but I've been practicing that. And I'll walk around, then I'll come back and write a little bit more. I got a good thing going, man. I'm lucky son of a fucking shit.
That's sick.
It's a nice like mental cleansing to be able to just like close your eyes, breathe.
Yeah, you got to be careful because you put your mind, you know, does shit. It's like a fucking garden, you know. So if you're watching videos of nasty shit, you're talking to people that are talking shit. It's just tough, man. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not gonna make anything any easier for you. I shouldn't say it's not good. Yeah. So be careful what you put in your mind. Taking walks. Try to think about positive things. Always thinking about ways you can be better friend or be better whatever. And especially when you get the anxiety and the depression, when you realize something that's actually, and this isn't bad. That shit's good.
Yeah.
Want to welcome it.
Teaches you something.
It does. And it's a moment to reflect on self-obsession, because the one thing that'll always get you out of it, you hit up somebody else and find out where they're at.
Yeah.
Whenever that's something that you like Alcoholics Anonymous. Shit like that.
Were you in?
You're out. Yeah, I've done all that shit.
Yeah.
NA is my favorite thing. Narcotics Anonymous, because it's like more broad.
Did you get a chip for that?
I got some chips, baby. Oh, I've got chips. I lost chips. I traded chips.
You traded chips?
I collected chips for a minute. Do you still keychains? I got some shit.
Nice.
I don't count. I'm not on that trip of counting my sobriety days anymore.
Yeah. Is that because you're behind? You don't want to think about it, or?
I just don't. I honestly, the idea of true mindlessness.
Yeah.
is trying to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
And I'm no better because I didn't get high yesterday or the day before, or because my tally has this or whatever. Everybody's always ready to be taken by the beast.
Yeah.
So the more time I have sober, actually less safe I am. You know what I mean? So it's like people that are counting and like, oh, you got 20 years. Like, that's scary to me. Like, oh my God, we got today, man. I got today. I'm not getting fucked up today. Tomorrow, who knows? Let's get fucked up tomorrow.
Are you on a fucking bender?
Let's get wasted tomorrow. Like, tomorrow we'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I do that. In my head, sometimes I do that where I'm like, I'm not gonna lie and say there aren't times I want to get absolutely faded on shit that I love. That's probably scary drugs.
Yeah.
I don't want to even talk about. That we don't even need to get into war stories about, but that shit. But it's like when I do that, I think, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. Tonight I'm gonna write songs, be with my children. Tomorrow I'll go down to Kensington and start my new life. And then tomorrow comes and I'm always like, maybe tomorrow I'll do it. Today, let's continue on. This path is good. I like this. I'll see my kids. I'll have lunch with James.
Yeah, day by day. That's good.
Day, bidet.
Not bidet though. You ever use bidet?
I do.
Yeah? You have
I
one?
use a bio bidet. So we were going to have one at the house, but then there's one at Studio 4, the studio in Conshohocken. I need to get one for in here. We need one at the house. They should have one everywhere. Honestly, they're not expensive anymore, too. They're like $100, $200. It's like toilet seat that goes on top of your thing. It hooks up to the back of your thing, and then you never have... You dry wipe.
Do you ever just bidet, like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, but you got to dry wipe.
Yeah, dry wipe.
You dry wipe. Unless you have some kind of... They have an air thing on them, too, but I don't really fuck with that shit. I'm not trying to take a little vortex water up there.
Do you remember the first time you used a bidet?
I do. Very uncomfortable.
Where were you?
Almost everything you do that's challenging in your life, it takes you out of your comfort zone like that. So where was I when I used the bidet? I was in Mission. I might have been in Mission Viejo, California.
Yeah.
My friend Boostie's house. Or I might have been in like somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I feel very European.
I think the first time I sat down and let the bidet do its job was in California. But I've sprayed my butt in other countries when I've had the opportunity to do it before. But it was always like, like when you actually sit down, you surrender to the
bidet.
The bidet. And the bio bidet toilet seat thing, they got a heater on there.
Oh,
it's good.
I've never used a heated
it's good.
toilet seat.
You never lived.
Toasty.
You never lived.
Jack, you could use one.
Yeah, I know. I might have to get one.
We should get one. We should get one for Chris.
Let's get one for Chris.
Let's get him a bio
for
bidet.
I don't even like.
Let's think how much it. Hey Siri.
I'll look it up.
Hey Siri, how much is a bio bidet?
Okay, I found this on the web for how much is a bio bidet.
Now
Check it out.
I'm gonna be getting all these crazy ads for bio bidets
and
everything now, weird butt things. And then when people listen to the podcast, all of their Siris are gonna search for a Hey Siri, search. No, I'm not gonna do it.
It's around like $300 to $500, and then you have to get installation for an additional $500, so $1,000 total.
Hey Siri, search lobster feet. Let's just see what happens. That hashtag lobster feet. Cheddar Jack. Cheddar foot. Yeah.
Dude.
Let's see what
lobster cheese.
What do you guys want? Let me ask you a question. You guys asking me rapid fire questions.
All right, yeah.
Barbara Walters at me right now. What is your end goal here? What not your end goal, but what is it? What's a rest stop on the destination of life for you guys? Like, what do you want from this?
From the podcast.
Just what do you want? What do you want out of life?
I just want to live comfortably and happily, whether that's with a big family or on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, I'm just figuring it out on the way.
Do you feel you guys are on the right path right now, as far as like you're following you're following the right frequency?
Yeah, I definitely. I personally I do. I think I like to have, whether it be photography or video work or podcasts. I like to have a creative outlet.
Yeah. Because
like I just have these ideas, like I want to have a podcast with this person, or I want to take pictures of this. That I just feel like, I like to. Once I do it, I like to see that end goal. I like to be able to, and then I just want to keep doing that because it's just it's built up. Like what
you're a modern day inventor. You know, you're like we all are in this weird way.
It's really cool. James Shields, the barber.
Straight Blade Jimmy?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
So like I go to him and like I've been wanting to interview him. I actually told him that we've been looking to interview you.
Dude, that's my guy.
We want to get a haircut.
No, and I was gonna say like that shows how creative he is. Like he's like, let's get a haircut while we're interviewing.
That's smart.
James.
It's gonna look cool.
I know. Dude.
See, listen, they're crazy because the world and the education system is really kind of shuts down the type of creativity that type of that you need. It's fucked up, man.
Dude, it's like
it's just kind of like, oh, like you learn this, you go to college, you work 9 to 5.
Yeah, here's like this. Here are the paths you go down. Like, no, dude, idea people, inventors, risk takers. Like that's the shit. Like people, like the only reason I have any type of shit, for my shit is because of luck.
Yeah.
One, and two, there were times where other people like wanted to do other things, and I was cool with living on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was cool with not eating when people ate or not making money when people were working.
Yeah.
And I was like, I made things that didn't feel like sacrifices, but would be considered sacrifices in whatever context you want to look at them. Other people weren't willing to make. Like I didn't care about not having. I was ready to be
flexible.
I was ready to hit the road with my fucking all thumbs, dude.
Oh yeah.
And
you
so
hitchhike a lot?
I don't know. I can't even remember if I ever actually really hitchhiked. I might have, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
My dad told me a funny story about hitchhiking and some guy like trying to like have sex with him when he was like scared, trying to scare me about.
That's crazy.
Fucking people back in the
You
day.
think that actually happened? Or you think he was just trying to scare you?
I don't know, but it was weird hearing my dad tell me the story.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a kid and my dad told me how like guy picked him up and like then asked him if he ever got blowed. And my dad actually, I never forget my dad saying like, telling me the story and being like, hey, you ever get blowed? And that's literally what my dad said the guy said to him. Whether that's what the guy actually said or not, the fact that it's just like something my dad said it to me, it was just like chef's kiss.
Yeah. So back to the creativity. I don't know if you ever experienced this, but like you just see something and you like your brain automatically is like, what? Like I'm motivated. I want to go do something like right this second. You know what I mean? Like
my mania picks up pretty hardcore when I get like inspired by something sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Dude,
I'll see something on Instagram. I'll hear somebody talking about something, and I'll be driving, and I just can't stop thinking about like going and filming something or going and doing something.
I wonder if that's not how like something like the light bulb was invented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because somebody had this idea they got obsessed with until they solved it.
Yeah, like it's dark in here and I'm sick of the light.
Probably some poor person that actually came up with the idea that like somebody fucking just took credit, some rich white dude took credit for.
I wonder how many. Dude, there's so many inventions.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
At this
I wonder if
it's
we'll
hard
ever
to come up with new ones.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll ever hit like a wall. I mean, obviously, I feel like most inventions now are technology.
You know who Ray Kurzweil is?
No.
Go check out Ray Kurzweil.
I feel like the name rings a bell, but
this guy is a prognosticator. He has guessed what technology is coming in our future based on a technological curve. He's like a modern day Nostradamus, where he's like, he makes predictions about what's going to happen in our future based on the technological curve and how it's worked over the years and different algorithms. His brain works like that.
That's crazy.
He also believes, I believe he thinks that at some point very soon that we're going to start becoming connected with computers in a way.
So that's why you're nice to Siri.
But yeah, Siri and I are best friends.
Yeah.
And one day, I will serve her happily.
Yeah. Would you be that like?
You know what? I started talking about this shit, and then I got an ad on my Facebook that was like, it was like a girlfriend AI, like the movie
That's
Her.
Crazy. Have you seen?
Oh, the shit list.
Dude.
The shit list.
You showed me that. I looked just like him when I had the thing, but it was like, hey, you can actually do that now. And the ad though, the girl in the ad looks like 12, and I was like, wait, why did they make her look like? Why am I? I would never have. I don't even want to talk to a 12-year-old of any gender.
Yeah.
Like, why are you even trying? Why don't you just make it look like Angelica Houston?
Yeah.
Or like, fucking I don't know, from Witches, or like something cool, like I don't know, like just something really weird. Or
Not some 12-year-old.
like a kid. Like, why is the obsession with that? It's like very strange.
That's weird.
Having kids is very strange.
Yeah.
And like just knowing that people are so weird, the world's so strange with people and everything. People will say things to me like, "Oh man, like your boys are gonna be such studs," and I'm like, "Fuck you, man! Don't fucking ever say anything like that. Fuck
Let
you,
my kids
man.
be
Are
my
you
kids."
Fucking kidding me? Fucking say shit like that. It's weird.
What's it like being a dad?
Weird as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. Can't even tell you. I feel like I'm talking about somebody else's experience being a dad.
Yeah.
It's like happening to me.
Yeah. That's sick.
It's very weird. I mean, my kids are the coolest people I've ever met.
They are. They are
Coolest people I've ever met.
people ever.
And I feel like I love the responsibility of taking care of them. I'm very lucky that my partner lets me be an artist. And I'm very lucky that Meredith is their mom.
Yeah. Shout out to Meredith.
Shout out to Meredith.
Very great mom.
Yeah, Momzilla, dude. She fucking kills it.
That's sick.
And if it wasn't for her being able to do how she does, I don't know if I'd be able to have the freedom to be a freak.
Yeah.
To be an actual true freak of nature.
Yeah, that's sick. Do they play instruments, right?
They do.
Yeah.
James is going to be a pro skateboarder or something.
Obviously, I mean.
Or a director. He loves those two things.
That's sick.
Luke could be a musician, a skateboarder, a director. Or Luke could be.
What's Luke play? Guitar?
He plays guitar. He plays piano. He riffs too. He makes up lyrics on the spot.
That's sick.
They all are. Will is like one of them. Will was like drawing pictures. Will drew this picture of my dad falling at the skate park.
No way. He drew a picture of that?
Yeah.
Is he gonna give it to him?
Yeah. and it's the steps. He drew the steps, and there's like a vanishing point, and I'm like,
you're gonna have to show me this.
I'll show you right now.
That's creativity to another level.
I'm like, dude, Will, how did you conceptualize vanishing point? Like, you don't even know anything about like that shit. And he was just like, yeah, I'm just copying. Look how the steps go down. Like,
oh my god,
damn.
That's insane.
Like, it's fucking 6 years old. Like, I don't know. I couldn't draw steps like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gloating over my kid or whatever. Like, I'm drawing a picture of my dad bleeding all over the step.
Dude, that's great. So, what about Jack? What's Jack?
Jack's like just Tasmanian devil phase right now.
Dude, he's great.
He's like my favorite fucking creature.
Oh, I know, dude.
He's just like so fucking cool, dude. He's so sweet. He's crazy. He's fun. I got the coolest kids, man. And my whole job is like just make sure that they're, I'm there for them when they need me. That's it. I don't even have to do anything. Like when they need me, I'm there for them. I hang out with them like I would hang out. I love them so much.
Yeah, they're sick. Yeah, Jack's great. Yeah. Do they often play? Like, how often
we
are
jam,
they playing? Yeah.
We jam. Since James really got into skating, and they all were really into skating, we do a little less jamming. But, it's mostly just skating now.
That's sick. Yeah, so do you, I think it's cool that you kind of let them do them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of parents will push, playing, go and play in a team sport or, playing in the school band.
I was kind of pushed.
Yeah.
I think that's why I see the value of letting them be their own thing.
Yeah.
Dress themselves, pick out their own clothes.
Yeah.
They want to change their fucking name. I'll call them whatever they want to call them. Whatever you want.
Dude, yeah, they're pretty good at...
Luke wants me to call him Numchuck. I'll call him Numchuck. Whatever he wants.
I like that.
Nunchuck.
That's a cool name.
Very cool.
Has he actually asked you to call him Numchuck?
I think James was the Numchuck. I think Luke would change his name to something else very strange.
But yeah, I like that though.
Whatever he wants.
They're pretty good at dressing.
They got good style. That's all.
I do.
That's all.
That's all their mama.
So. That's all their mama.
Yeah.
I got the worst style. I wear the same shit every day.
Hey man, that's cool.
Yeah.
As long as it's cool shit. It's not like you're wearing like.
Back in the day, I heard that. Back in the day. I heard that. Fucking homeboy Einstein.
Yeah.
He wore the same clothes every day.
Same fit.
Every day, same shit. So you have to think about it. So you could just think about fucking the cosmos.
Yeah. Was it the same?
I think so. I think he wore like kind of suity thing. I don't know.
Was it like a cartoon where it's like they have multiple? They open the closet. It's like the same outfit, but they have like 100 pairs.
The same thing. I think it was just like he had
pants?
3 of the same thing, and that's all he fucked with.
Hey man, that's
we did the
cool.
same thing in like pajamas, and then fucking wore the same slippers forever. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I went to high school, and when in high school you had to wear like a button-up shirt and pants and shit. So I think I was just like, I would take my button-up shirt on, put on a hoodie, keep my Dickies on or whatever, a husky my husky slacks that my mom got me because I had to wear fucking size 44 pants or something, whatever I was.
Yeah?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
You used to be a big boy?
I was a big boy.
Yeah?
When I was really little, I had asthma, and one of the medications they treat you with asthma is like a steroid.
Yeah.
And that just...
Prednisone. And it just makes you blow up, retain water, makes your appetite just...
Damn.
So I just got big. I was a big boy, and I got teased a lot about it.
How'd you lose, like...
Just happened.
Just growing up?
I
That's how
think
I
like
was.
junior, senior year, just like... Boom, it's just like you thinned out, you got tall.
Dude, elementary school, I was like, towards the end of elementary school, I was a little chunky.
Being chunky in school sucks.
I was like 220 in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I'm like 200 now. I mean, I'm still a big papa.
Here's
but,
the thing:
you
is
know.
when you got a little bit of that. First of all, both of you are young, and having a little bit of meat on your bones is very good because that means you start exercising now. Your testosterone's through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
So you start doing a little bit of exercising right now, you'll get so jacked, 10 million times faster than someone my age will.
Yeah.
And you got all this testosterone, all this natural growth hormone pumping through your system. Your fucking weird balls. Do that shit.
Yeah.
Work out. Do it now because then whatever meat you got on your bones, you fucking just be cut.
I'm not too, dude, I don't, like, there are some people who are way too concerned. Like,
yeah, dude. It bummed me out when I was a kid. I didn't like being fat.
yeah?
I hated it.
You get made fun of?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember, I used to get,
No body positive.
J's
shit.
on his babunas?
yeah, dude, I used to get made fun of for being a little chunky. But then I had some girl saying that she missed me when I was, she missed me being chunky. I was
That's
like,
the
what do
thing,
you
is like
mean?
you should never feel bad about yourself ever because there's just people who are gonna love you. You know what I mean? No matter what. There's people that are gonna love you and give you love no matter what you look like. There's people that are like they're down to love. There are people that are specifically like into loving certain types of shit. Like, I don't know, man, I wish there was more body positivity growing up when I grew up.
Yeah.
Because
Dude, I feel like being blind. If you're blind, dude, you just personality. It's purely personality.
Yeah.
You don't see the way they
What
look.
scares me so much is deafness.
Definite. Oh yeah, dude. That's
That would suck.
that shit's scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
That's my nightmare. Tell you what.
Especially
People want to talk about like, oh, I'm not afraid of anything. Like, losing my
Going
hearing,
deaf, that's
going
fucked.
deaf. I had tinnitus, mild tinnitus, and so it's scary. And I have to take care of my ears now that I'm old and I'm like listening to music. I'm being on tour.
Do you go to a doctor?
Yeah, we have people that treat our ears and get checked out and do shit. And dude, I've come home from tours and been like, oh fuck, and just hear ringing for weeks.
Damn.
Yeah.
What
And
about
I have friends that have serious damage.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. I don't like.
Just take care of your
Everybody
shit.
scares me.
Take care of your teeth. Take care of your ears. Take care of your feet. Take care of your dong.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
Don.
Don't fuck with that thing. You don't want to fuck with that thing.
You one of them.
Take care of that.
That would suck to lose it.
Take care of that thing.
Yeah, dude. Doctors scare me. Like, you ever have a doctor tell you something and then you're focused on that for the next week or two? You're like, well, now I don't want to, lose my, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doctor told me that I listen to my music too loud.
Yeah.
They
What'd you
did
tell
ear
her that?
test on me, and I apparently couldn't hear like the high noises frequency or whatever. Like
Really?
that. Yeah. So I was just like,
Blasting music.
Blast. Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah.
That's weird. Those
So-
things are.
Speaking of listening to music, what kind of music do you listen to?
Listen to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you listen to a lot of music?
All
Like is
day.
that?
All day, every day.
Yeah, that's sick.
Music constantly.
Yeah.
Today I listened to. The fuck did I listen to this morning? I listened to some fucking jazz this morning.
Yeah.
Krungbin and
That's cool.
Kamasi Washington. And then I listened to this song by the Trogs called Love Is All Around that I'm trying to cover with a buddy of mine, and then listen to some music I was working on. And I take a little break sometimes and I'll just like go on iTunes and I'll be like, oh, what's the fucking song this week? Let's like check out what it is right now. Like, I was listening, I'm doing this project with a buddy of mine, and so I'm writing lyrics for it, and I looked up lyrics from his other band
Yeah.
so that I could write some weird shit that would like plays off
That he would like be down
that
with.
he might never know.
Yeah.
So like if a lyric, I don't want to say because I'll give it away, but there was a lyric that said like something, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking talk shit on that kind of in a low key way.
Yeah.
Where I was just
Get
like,
his attention.
Sneak diss.
if there was a line that in a song where somebody else's band was like, I'm the only one like then the first line of this new jam of this band, I'd be like, I'm not your fucking only one, or something like that, where it's like, oh, right up the gate, it just like feels weak, you know.
Have you ever thought about writing a diss track? Or a song dissing?
Diss track.
No?
I mean,
Do you have any songs?
I actually have, but it's not really a diss track. I've written songs about like relationships with people that I was friends with that I felt like were being phonies.
Did they hit you up? They ever hit you up? No, they didn't know.
Obscurity, concealed in obscurity, you know, like I'm hidden in obscurity.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's kind of cool about music, but also sucks because on one hand, like I trick myself into thinking I'm actually dealing with the shit that I'm going through by writing about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm proud, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I gotta actually go through it and have confrontations about things. I have to say things to people. I can't just like write a song about it and like process it all on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's the song of the week? You were gonna.
Oh, let's do the song of the week. Probably something to do with fucking butts.
Butts.
WAP.
Yeah.
From what? From just in general?
Alright, so look at iTunes. Let's go down there and it says best new songs.
I feel like
Pooh Shiesty.
Pooh Shiesty.
Oh god.
It's a rapper.
I want to start a band that sound like called Pooh Shiesty or something like that, where people are like, oh, they think they know what it is, but it's not like that.
I guess that's the song of the week.
Yeah, cool. It's got a cool beat. Dance my ass off to shit like that.
I think he got arrested.
Extorting shit just like the 80s. Want something back. Get in blood, God.
Yeah. You like the song Whoop-dee?
Whoop-dee, yeah.
What's
Whoop-dee?
Oh, is that the Kanye West song?
No.
Dude, did you ever hear that Kanye West song?
What is it? Oh yeah, I know. Like Poopity, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, son of a shit.
It's my credit. It's my credit union, man. These fucking shitheads.
Yeah, the Kanye song. I forget what it's called.
I was like,
But it's like
Scoop.
whoopity, like.
dude, but the beginning of it. I'm playing this song right now.
Are you a big
I
Kanye?
remember it being
The
really.
beginning of the song is like, oh my, like new Kanye, and I'm like, oh shit, and like he didn't put anything out for a minute, or like, how do you even spell Kanye?
I remember fucking with it heavy.
Do you like Kanye?
Nah,
Poopity scoopity, baby.
not a big.
Do you like his music or just not hit like?
Nah, not really.
No.
Some of it's alright. There's definitely some shit that's alright. Just not a huge fan. I think that he's been pretty irresponsible with some shit.
No, I have to agree.
I'm not a big fan. Where's that fucking Poopity Scoop?
Is it this one? Yeah, it's all.
And it's
all
like the crazy sample,
yeah.
and I'm
Like,
like,
it sounds amazing, and you're like hyped. It's the
oh, my
build-up.
head has exploded, and I can't wait to hear what's gonna come next.
And then
And the beat comes in,
and you're like,
and I'm like, and it's freeing up, and I'm like, oh my god, he's done it again. And I'm like, I don't think he
Like,
could get any better than this. Like, I'm gonna love it no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm at that place where I love it no matter what.
and then the beat switches up a little
And
bit.
I'm like, let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, I'm ready. Take me there. Take me there. Take me there.
Where's he coming?
And then I'm like, all right, it's a patient
And then
beat.
it comes back into this.
Yeah. And then I'm like, all right. And I'm like, all right.
Why? Like that's my question. Why?
We're talking about it like that. I mean, it's like a art piece.
I mean, I guess it is, but it's.
Poop diddy scoop, bro.
I guess art is. I mean, art.
It's a fine meme, you know?
Yeah. Everybody
It's fine
has their-
meme. Like instead of fine art, it's like just
Fine.
memes.
I mean, I guess that's how.
It's a mimetic fucking. It's a mimetic song.
Dude, that's how you stay relevant. Like, I feel like some people.
But
Like, I mean, Kanye's obviously always going to be relevant, but I mean, by putting that out, he gets people talking about him.
Yeah, I think that.
Same with that song with Lil Pump.
Lil Pump.
Such a fucking hoe, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
song.
yeah.
I was
Kanye's
like,
song.
what the fuck?
I feel like Kanye really like. You could tell he's not with his new music. It's like
he's not all there.
Yeah. It like hit a point. Like it's for like.
I actually stopped listening to anything of his when he started doing the whole like presidential shit. When he was like, hanging out with Trump. And I was like,
he's trying to be a politician. I don't know, right? Like that doesn't make like musician trying to be. I don't know.
I just see.
I feel like it's becoming more popular though. Like people in Hollywood like getting involved.
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing people make a difference and try to help people.
Yeah.
You
Like
know, and I know
Schwarzenegger was the guy.
I know he
like
tries
that.
to help people. You know, I know Kanye has done a lot of good shit for people, but he has this platform where like he could do so much shit for people, and I see a lot of it as just self-aggrandizing, and even just with mental health stuff, the way he talks about his own mental health shit is like makes me feel pretty stoked in a certain way, and then I'm like in another way I feel like if he there's like a lack of accountability there. Or something, you know. It sucks in general. We celebrate people in a weird way where nobody's like, people are like, oh shit! It's like, yo, dude, he's hurting really bad.
Yeah.
You know, like, and the poopity scoop thing is like beautiful art in my opinion.
Yeah.
It pisses me off, and in that way,
Yeah.
it's brilliant. And the fact that it is what it is just like it's like the guy who put up the canvas and like spat on it, and it's like, dude, to me, I just for some reason, you want to break that down. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Nothing.
Oh no, it's so wrong.
just the Adobe effect. It's
You know, like you call some art. It's all subjective. You know, so
it's subjective.
I hate that. I hate that because he had not that I don't respect it, but he had the opportunity to make this beautiful song.
Yeah.
It could have said anything and could have touched people's hearts, and he decided to make this art piece that was like, you know, maybe in the long run it does answer some questions about art in some way that benefits it. But my question is like, how does that benefit? How does that add to the thing that's greater than us that we're trying to serve?
Like, what does that do?
To me, it's like, does that, like, if you're gonna make, if it's, you know, to me, how does that serve the greater good? It's not like, how does that make you a star, or how does it make people talk about you more, make you more relevant, or whatever. And so, if you can find something that maybe makes you more relevant and serves the greater good, like, fuck yeah. You know? What do I know? I don't know shit.
You could definitely see throughout his music his like, you know, how he switched. Like, he had a gospel album.
Dude, when he fucking was
like,
on TV and he was like, George Bush doesn't care about black people, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most amazing shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I was so happy, and it fucked people up, you know? And like, he's done a lot of cool shit with music too, where it's like, oh, it just wasn't, people weren't ready for that. But, yeah, I don't know what the deal is now. Like, I think that in general, like, if somebody's like, hey, I have mental health issues, you know, and then starts doing crazy shit, and then we're like, as a whole, we're like, yay, like egging it on. It's like very strange.
And he's just like, poop did he scoop?
Poop did he scoop?
If Kanye
running for president, crying, yelling at people, like, somebody around him should put their arm around him and be like, dude, bro.
Like, chill.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of running for president, spending all this money on this shit, maybe we could like help a bunch of homeless people in fucking Chicago. You know?
If he,
I'm sure he does that already. So what the fuck do I know?
If Kanye hit you up right now to do a song, what would you say?
I probably wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Not even if it was a poopity scoop song.
I mean, if he hit me up and he was like down to do a song that was like, like that had something to do with if it had something to do with talking shit on like the type of moral and ethical shit that he was spouting during like the time during the Trump administration, where he was talking about like slavery not being real, and other shit like that. Like if he was down to address that shit, then maybe I would work with him. But I would never work with somebody who was gonna. Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Talk like that.
He,
you know.
Yeah, when he was like actually campaigning and he said something about like Harry, like, he said something about slavery not being real. He was like, what the hell?
He's like sprouted off these conservative talking points about how like modern day, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like modern day like racial like understanding, like, and people like doing like work like as far as like racial justice is like secretly holding back everybody, and like it's kind of like white national talking points.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And I don't know, it's scary.
Yeah.
I don't know enough to judge, and I'm not trying to like overtly judge.
I know what you mean.
But like anybody makes music like that. Like if somebody's like, yeah, I back Trump. You know, hey Anthony, do you want to do some shit? Like I don't give a fuck whether you're Kanye West or whether you're Beyonce or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I can't really you are who you associate with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to hang in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, Kanye's... What other musician, like, back to what musicians you listen to, like, who are some of your top inspirations? Like, who do you go back, like, you could just keep going back and listening and you know, either get inspiration or you just enjoy listening to their music?
Oh, man, there's so many. It's crazy. Like, Harry Nilsson is great. Nina Simone, you know, it's just, there's so many. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet.
across the board. It's like there's just this endless, like I'm like swimming in this ocean of endless fucking cool shit to listen to, you know, and sometimes writing or whatever, you hear a song, you're like, oh, I want to try to play something like that. Or you learn how to play that, and then it teaches you a new chord, it teaches you something else. You know, it's like you're part of a chain, you know, when you make something. Like, you're part of a chain by making your podcast.
Yeah.
You were inspired by something, you had this idea, you took this risk, and then by doing it, inadvertently, you are inspiring somebody else to do something.
Yeah.
Whether it's another podcast, whether it's to be less anxious, whether it's to feel less alone.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's
podcasts
have
are...
an effect on people.
Yeah, podcasts are definitely an interesting platform.
But you see, you can do that every day of your life.
Yeah.
Like, just by going to the grocery store, going out, talking to people, seeing you every day you have an opportunity to make the gigantic impact in somebody's life. Sometimes just by like saying hi to them.
Dude, yeah. That's,
you could brighten someone's day.
You know that crazy lady that walks around Doylestown?
Yeah, I know.
She's like one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
I talk to her, and whenever I stop and talk to her, we have a normal conversation. And I know she's talking to herself. I know she's like yelling and screaming sometimes. But I'm like, hey, how are you today? And she'll be like, oh, good. Like, we'll just have a normal talk, you know? And
one time I said Vince's name, and she was like, don't curse. I'm like, what? She's like, you said bitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know you could be preventing or like doing for
just
that.
Like,
you know
when you wake up every day and you're like, you have that in your mind where you're like, oh yeah, today I want to not just live in my own like observation of everything. Like how do I maybe bring some cool shit that I would want brought into my life to other people? Maybe?
Yeah.
You know, because whether it's just kindness.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like positivity can never have a bad effect on anybody. So I mean,
it can if it's forced and it's not sincere.
If it's clearly like fake, if I'm like
with the wellness stuff and with a lot of that shit and the mindfulness shit that people are like, it's forced.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of that stuff it needs to take its own time.
But if it's like some natural positivity, I mean, you're not losing anything. It's free.
It also doesn't hurt, you know.
Exactly.
Like I saw a dude that was going around the other day on the internet, like just like taking videos and being like, I like your hat, I love your shoes, whatever. Just finding people's reactions. Like, hey, tell you what, why don't you do that without your fucking phone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it without your fucking phone? Oh, you're trying to send a message for other people to do it, or are you trying to fucking virtue signal?
That's the hard thing. That's
good
like,
people do that shit without
any type of recognition.
Yeah.
You don't need to fucking tell anybody about it. Do most of your shit like that.
Yeah.
And if you ever, once in a while, it doesn't hurt to be like, hey, doing nice things is good for people in some way, or following by example, but...
Because then it can motivate other people. But you don't want to do it to the extent where it's like, hey, look, I'm a good person, you know? Like
it's almost like you're going out of your way to prove that you're a good person.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just like, what the fuck are you doing it for?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like for your own gain or to help somebody else out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you could go out and hand out food to the homeless, and you could just do that by yourself, or you could bring along a camera, and
and see how many hits you get from it.
Yeah. Mm. So
fuck that shit.
I know. I don't know.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe for the Cheddar Jack podcast.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We gotta have you on.
Dude, my pleasure. Sorry to go off. How long have we been doing?
Right.
An hour,
almost an hour.
Hey, yeah, that's a good. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
boom. It's a good time to stop.
So thank you for coming on. We definitely love to have you back sometime.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's make this a thing.
Let's do it.
I'm not trying to be rude right now. I just got to make sure.
I got you.
Meredith's not calling me because my fucking dad fell or something like that.
I got you. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good one.
Shit.
We'll be back.
Rolling out new episodes more often now. Thanks for sticking with us, even though we went on a little break. Peace.
Have you been playing Avalon, or is that just on?
No, that's just so I brought my record player. I brought from my dad's my parents' house when I was there the other day, and it was from when I was a kid. And I that was like my first record player, and I stole it.
From where?
I stole it from the Trihampton YMCA.
Where, like, was it just out? It was just...
Yeah, so I you fucking piece of shit. So I went there. We would rent the place out for $200 for the night on like a Friday or Saturday night. Have the shows there, like 16 or 17, and we'd have like our bands play. We would like rent it out and then have our bands play and like sell tickets, but we never. It was just.
Dude, I wish the first time I did that.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
The Teen Center, dude. The
they
Teen Center at the Y has had like legendary punk and hardcore shows.
Really?
Yeah. There's like in the world of that stuff, like there are some bands that are just like massive, like Title Fight, Balance and Composure, like from this area that all play like to like 20 people in packed room.
That's sick.
Whenever I'm there, I always get chills.
At the Teen Center?
Yeah.
It'd be a good convinced gig.
Yeah, I really want David to be.
Can you play? I mean, you can't do anything now, but someday.
Yeah.